I'm in the desmos.com/scientific website, and we're going to perform these 3 simple calculations. To do this first calculation that I've highlighted over here in red, in the calculator I simply start typing on my keyboard, or I start poking the keys on the actual Desmos calculator. So I can poke the keys with my cursor and type the 12, or on my keyboard, type them. In order to make the exponent, that exponent of 3, we're going to use the a raised to the b button. A raised to the b button. So I typed the base, 1.6, and then I click this a to the b button. It raises my cursor to create that exponent, and I type the 3, and the answer appears on the right, 20.096. In order to do the calculation that I've highlighted in green, I have fractions that I need to enter. Now there's a few ways you can do fractions on the Desmos calculator. The first way I could type 2/7 is using my keyboard. I can type 2 and then use the forward slash on my keyboard and then type this denominator of 7. In order to get my cursor out of that fraction, you can use your mouse and just click out of it. Or when you're down in the denominator, you can use the right arrow button on your keyboard to arrow out of that fraction. I'm going to delete that and show a different way. Another way to write 2/7 in the Desmos calculator is I start with a 2, and then on this Desmos calculator keypad, I type this little division symbol, and then type the 7 and arrow out of it. And a third way, you can use this A over B fraction button on the far right side of the Desmos calculator. So I click this, and then I put the 2 in the top, and I put the 7 in the bottom. Your choice. All right, so I've typed the 2/7. I've arrowed out of that denominator, so my cursor is outside of the fraction now. And then I continue typing my calculation. So minus parentheses, 2 divided by 3, arrow out of that denominator and end my parentheses. Now I need to make that exponent. You notice the 4 is on the outside of the parentheses, so my cursor is on the outside of the parentheses, and then I click this exponent button, a raised to the b, and type the 4. All right, so the decimal approximation of the answer is given to the right over here as about 0.088 approximately. So that is one way to report the answer, but that is a rounded decimal approximation of the answer. But another way to report the answer is to give the exact fractional answer. To do that, you'll notice next to the answer from Desmos on the right side, there's a little fraction button. And if you hold your cursor over top of that, it says convert to fraction. So if you click that, it reports the answer as the exact fractional answer, 50 over 567. So the little button on the right, click that, it'll convert back and forth from decimal to fraction. And for the third calculation that I've highlighted in blue, I'm going to calculate 8 plus 5 to the third, all divided by 1.2. So overall, that is a fraction. So in Desmos, what I'm going to do is click this A over B fraction button to start. And then I'll put my cursor in the numerator and type that numerator, 8 plus 5, little exponent button, and put the 3 in the exponent. And then I click down into the denominator and type the 1.2. Again, Desmos reports the decimal answer of approximately 110.83. Or I can click the Convert to Fraction button and convert that to a fraction.